Hello again. In this video, I will cover all the perks available to use. Some are exclusive to certain roles, so I'll note them as we go, and I'll actually explain what they do in detail with any statistics and facts I found. Also give recommendations on what to use. However, only 6% of you are subscribed, which is more than last time, so thank you. Consider giving me a subscribe, thank you. But first, I'll explain them. Starting off with the universal perks, which are available to all roles. Flak. Incoming damage from explosives is reduced by 10%. Now I don't see this one being particularly useful. It could potentially save you from a nade in the face, but the damage reduction is not worth noting, I don't think. It does stack with other perks, but I'll get to that later. Cover. Incoming suppression is reduced by 25%. Suppression effect happens when there are near misses to the player. It results in slightly blurred vision, weapon swaying around more, and extra recoil and spread, and will also temporarily stop squad mates from spawning on those who are suppressed. So by using this perk, the effect is reduced and the rate of suppression is also reduced. Quick regen. Reduce the time before out of combat heal by 20%. The default time for the health regeneration to start is 10 seconds after taking damage. So by using this perk, it brings it down to 8 seconds. Quick unspot. Decrease the length of time you're spotted by 2 seconds. When you get spotted, you will remain spotted for 6 seconds by default. By using this perk, it will reduce it by 2 seconds, bringing it down to 4 seconds, which you can remain spotted. Bayonet Training. Charge lasts 1 second longer and recovers 1 second faster. The default charge is about 4 seconds, so using this perk it brings it up to 5 seconds. The recharge rate by default is 5 seconds, but by using the perk it will bring it down to 4 seconds, resulting in a longer bayonet charge and a faster recovery. Hasty retreat. Increase maximum sprint speed whilst suppressed by 10%. Suppression happens when there are near misses to the player, and it results in the slightly blurred vision, weapon swaying, extra recoil and spread, and it will also temporarily stop squad mates from spawning on you. However, if the player is suppressed, the player will be rewarded with a 10% sprint speed boost, which can be used to get the cover quickly. It's possible to tell whether this perk is active, as it will be highlighted when active. Inconspicuous. When stationary or moving, you're invisible to spot flares. Now, PC players cannot move slowly in a standing position, at least with keyboard and mouse, so they will have to crouch or crawl in a prone position. However, controller players can push the analog stick slightly to move slowly. To have the Inconspicuous perk active, you can tell if it's active and if you're hidden, as it will remain highlighted when active. Privateer. Swim 25% faster with your melee weapon in hand. Pretty self-explanatory, but Battlefield 1 doesn't have much swimming depending on the maps, so its effectiveness is very limited, and plus it will only work if your melee weapon is equipped, so it's often easy to forget to equip the melee weapon, which can be done by holding the melee button. Awareness. Enemies spotted by you remain spotted for 25% longer. The default spotting time is 6 seconds, so by using this perk it will add 1.5 seconds to the spot time for the total of 7.5 seconds. However, if the enemy is using the quick unspot perk, it will bring it down to 5.5 seconds. Slink. The sound of your footsteps is reduced. From my testing and experimentation, Slink reduces your footstep sounds by about 35%. But I'll allow you to hear the comparison for yourself. Now we move on to the exclusive perk, starting off with the Assault. Juggernaut. Your gas mask reduces explosive damage by 20%. Does stack. Now, Juggernaut will reduce the damage more than Flak does, but at the cost of wearing the gas mask, which will reduce your vision and hearing. However, they can be used together to get an explosive damage reduction of 30%, which is the maximum possible. Again, not too sure if it's worth it, but if you're going to use it, you might as well combine Juggernaut with Flak for the maximum effectiveness. Controlled Demolition. Your dynamite will now detonate sequentially. Instead of the dynamite detonating one after the other, this perk allows you to detonate the dynamite one by one in the order you place. I don't see this being particularly game changing or helpful in any way, and it will be completely useless if you don't have the TNT equipped. Pilferer. Victims of melee kills drop helpful items relating to their kill. Now, this perk is pretty cool as long as you make use of it by getting melee kills. Bayonet Charge will work as well. If you take down an assault player, they will drop 3 AT mines. Not very useful. Take down a medic player and they'll drop 3 bandage pouches. Take down a support player and they'll drop 3 ammo pouches. Take down a scout and they'll shoot a spotting flare out from them. It will not work on tankers, pilots, or elite, so very mixed effectiveness based on who you take down. Medic exclusive perks. Concealed Rescue. Spotting a downed squad mate will drop smoke to cover their revival. 40-second cooldown. It will drop smoke directly on downed squad mates as long as they've been spotted and called out for a revival. It will only work on squad mates, and as soon as it's used, it will go on cooldown for 40 seconds. And you can see the cooldown progress by the perk. Stimulant Syringe. After reviving an ally, you both gain 20% boost in sprint speed for 8 seconds. Does not stack. Very useful perk for getting to people quicker after a revive, allowing the speed boost to be continued. However, it won't stack with Hasty Retreat, so sprint speed will be capped at 20% for the duration of the perk. Reciprocity. Healing an ally heals you for 12.5 HP. Healing allies with the medical crate or the bandage pouch will heal you for 12.5 without even using a healing item, which can be a great way of passively gaining health by leaving a crate or bandages to others, while healing them will effectively heal you. Support exclusive perks. Unbreakable. Incoming suppression is reduced by 75% when the bipod is deployed. Using Unbreakable, it will reduce suppression effect of blurred vision, weapon swaying, reduce the recoil and spread, allowing the suppression to build up at a slower rate while the bipod is deployed. Pin down. Outgoing suppression is increased by 50% and fully suppressing an enemy with your LMG will spot them. Using pin down will increase the rate the enemies will have the suppression effect and reduce their general effectiveness, and it will allow you to spot them without even having to press the spot button. Perseverance. Holding the repair tool increases walking speed by 25%. Sprint speed is unaffected by this, and reduce explosive damage by 20%. This perk can only be used while walking with a repair tool. However, it can be great for repairing tanks on the move and catching up to them better, or taking one down. It can also grant 20% explosive damage reduction, which tanks tend to attract. Again, this perk could be combined with Flak for a 30% explosive damage reduction. Scout exclusive perks. Scapegoat. Decoy is deployed automatically when struck below 75% by a distant enemy. 30-second cooldown. This perk will automatically place a decoy where you are standing when you get hit just below half health, which could distract the attacker away from you and onto the decoy for a brief moment, allowing for the opportunity to counter. Perimeter alarm. Enemies within 10 meters of your triggered trip mines are spotted. After a trip mine is triggered, it will act like a spotting flare for a brief amount of time, allowing you to see if there's any more enemies within the radius of the mine. Ripple. After headshotting an enemy with your single action rifle, this can be any of the sniper rifles, the next enemy you spot will be highlighted. After getting a headshot and then spotting an enemy, it will put a red outline around them for a brief amount of time for yourself and your team to see, similar to how the periscope spots. It will not only just work on infantry, but planes, tanks, boats and other vehicles. Keep getting headshots and the ripple effects perk will continue working. Continue going. Pilot exclusive perks. Safe bail. Players exiting your plane will be accompanied by a spotting flare. This will be helpful for your team as they'll have a small radius where enemies will be spotted for them, allowing them for a bit of a safer paradrop. Cloud cover. Decrease the length of time you are spotted by 50% in aeroplanes. When you get spotted in an aeroplane, you'll remain spotted for about 12 seconds by default, but by using this perk, it will bring it down to 6 seconds. Tank exclusive perks. Critical cover. Automatically deploys smoke when your tank is disabled. When the tank has received a lot of damage and becomes disabled, it will emit smoke, allowing the tank to hide, and if it is spotted, it will remove the spot, allowing for a higher chance of repairing the vehicle back to 100% or to a workable condition, and having smoke to hide in temporarily. Convoy. Self-repairing as a driver also repairs nearby vehicles. When you're repairing yourself as the driver of the tank, you will also repair other vehicles within a radius, so it's best used near other players and other tankers for maximum effectiveness. Challenge perks. Challenge perks shouldn't really be used in general unless you want a challenge. These can only be selected by the infantry roles and cannot be selected as a tanker nor pilot. Reaper. Death comes to us all, quicker for some than others. Lose 1 health per second. Performing a kill stalls the poison for 10 seconds. This perk can be annoying as it starts the moment you spawn and it stops the player from healing until they've stalled the poison, allowing for a brief window to heal. It can be very annoying as you just take damage from the moment you spawn. Peacock. You see yourself as a hero and want everyone to know it. Once you are spotted, you remain spotted until death. When you spawn with the perk, you can tell if you're spotted or not, as it will highlight the moment you get spotted, and it will remain that way as long as you have the perk. Even if you respawn, you'll still be spotted for the rest of the game. Paranoid. After seeing the effects of gas firsthand, you never want to experience it for yourself. You cannot remove your gas mask. Not a massive handicap, but it does reduce your hearing and visibility slightly. But looking on the bright side, you'll never have to worry about gas. Death toll. Life is precious, don't throw it away. Each death deducts 200 points from your round score. Who really cares about score unless you want to show off at the top of the scoreboard? Scavenger. You seem to always run out of ammo and must loot the battlefield. You can only carry 1 magazine per weapon. Now for this perk, you will only ever be given enough ammo for 1 magazine. It's not possible to pick up ammo or replenish ammo from crates or pouches. The only way of getting more ammo is by picking up other kits. When you do, they are once again only given enough for 1 magazine, again for each gun. So to keep going, you must switch kits constantly. Pretty interesting perk that forces you to use whatever you pick up. Now for my recommendations. Slink is a pretty good universal perk, allowing you to be a bit more sneaky. For assault, Pilferer is quite a good assault perk, offering loot as a reward for melee kills. Medic. For the medic class, I recommend all 3 of the medic exclusive perks, as they allow you to more effectively assist your team. If you're not a team player, then just play whatever you want. Support. Perseverance is a pretty good perk if you're using the repair tool, and it can be used to assist your team a bit better and to catch up other tanks a bit easier. Scout. Ripple is a great perk and it will give you wall hacks as long as you keep getting headshots, so it's a very rewarding perk. Other than that, I think it's just about finding which ones work for you and whether these little differences will assist you, but I think at the end of the day, it's whatever works best for you. So if you like this video, consider giving me a subscribe and a like. Consider joining the YouTube memberships. Leave me a like, leave me a dislike if you didn't like it. Subscribe for more. Until next time, see ya.